fair between Secret and Evil Geniuses. Can't wait for that one. And then we'll dip into the lower bracket and take 2 of the matches down there. Virtus.pro versus Royal Never Give Up, and TNC Predator versus Liquid. Can't wait. All 4 of those games, gents. There's something in all of them, isn't there?
I'm excited for every single series.
Yeah, there's something you can kind of go, oh, I can't wait for that, or that player to play that player, or that team to clash against that, or that style against that style. There's something in every game.
Yeah, there really is. I mean, obviously, EG versus Secret, that's always going to be a gigantic one, but the Liquid TNC one to me is just like, it feels like so close. Like, I'm super 50-50 on that one, and it's like, can Liquid, are they back on form, or was it just like that VO one?
It's also Heen.
Yeah. It is.
Again, like he knows this team. Can he beat the team that he helped build and make that? I'm fascinated. I love that stuff. It's great. Can't wait for it. What are you looking forward to?
I just think it's amazing how small of a world the Dota community is. How often you have these previous coaches, previous players. Every series, there's always such a unique dynamic, and we have so much to talk about going into every one. We talked about,
but it's almost like it's like a nudge, isn't it? Because you go, oh yeah, there's that guy and that guy.
When you mentioned it, I'm like, oh, there's a storyline for everything.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
okay, what's the connection with VP and RNG?
That one's a little deeper, but Royal are a big club in China and do have other parts to their organisation, and VP are also a multi-game organisation, and they've changed their shirts to Chinese stuff. So there's a Chinese team, and I don't know.
I've heard VP,
Rocket League.
I've heard they just never give up. They never quit.
They're the kind of royalty that never give up.
You guys are stretching.
All right, give it to us, Cap. It sounds like you have something.
Yeah, like you obviously have the insider info.
How about the fact that VP are, every single year they come into TI, they seem to be suffering every single time. Despite their whole DPC event, they go into this TI and they just always seem to be really bad. There
is a cloud over them.
Going on them.
There is a cloud over them.
Yeah, they're matched up against RNG, who are this like younger squad that never gives up.
Now you're
linking somewhere in there with Grant, right? Something about TI and not giving up, and there you go. There's the story. It sells itself. No, that's actually like the weirdest. Like one of the matchups, right? It's like the CIS big powerhouse of VP versus like RNG, who's kind of like one of the runts of the Chinese squad. It's like I'm not sure how that story's supposed to go.
And on the home turf, especially. Like, you never know.
Yeah, I think they probably underperformed as well during the group stages, and it'd be nice to see whether they can go head-to-head with Virtus.pro. Well, our focus returns to the attention of the first series of the day as our 2 teams, NEWBEE and OG, return to the center of the arena to face off against each other at game number 2. NEWBEE getting themselves ready. OG setting themselves up for another run at the Ages. Reminder for you, if you're just joining us or you're new to TI, no team, no player has ever won 2 Ages championships. We've had 8 TIs, 8 different winners, 40 different players have been champions. It's an incredible stat that I have a feeling might just be broken in 2019. These players are getting themselves set. We're going to get more words from our panel in just a moment, but let's catch up with Casey.
And MSS. Good to see you guys.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
I'm just going to start with this. Your manager, Jack, came in.
Yes.
And a lot of times this happens, and they say, hey, just, be nice to my guys.
Of course.
Jack came in and said, really go in on them.
What can I say? That's our manager.
And not the greatest.
What is Jack like as a manager?
He's a big goon, honestly. Normally you expect a lot of professionalism from your manager, some sort of guidelines for your players, but he's actually just one of us. He's just a goon as a manager.
Yeah, he's one of the boys.
Yeah.
He's one of you guys. Yeah. It is interesting that you're now NEWBEE. So can you walk me through how that happened? Because you were with Forward Gaming, you qualified for TI, and then suddenly you found yourselves headed to TI without an umbrella organization behind you.
After Ford dropped us, a lot of organizations actually reached out to us, and it was just simply NEWBEE just was the most attractive.
A big part of it was NEWBEE is a Chinese-based organization, especially in Shanghai, and with TI being in Shanghai this year, it made the most sense that picking a Chinese organization as prestigious as NEWBEE was the right choice.
Yeah, we're also TI4 champions now.
Apparently. Representing.
There's a roster of players who might disagree with you on that.
Of course.
Do you feel that sense of pressure to play for the organization that does have such deep roots here in China, since TI9 is in China?
Like, I don't feel much pressure, but I do feel like I actually play better since we got NEWBEE. So maybe the pressure is making me play better. You know, you never know.
Get under pressure. What can I say? I definitely have some home roots to China as well. I was born here. It's definitely kind of crazy that how I started as an American team this year, and then it somehow ended up back to my roots.
What do you both want to say about the roots of Dota 2 in China? It means a lot, I would imagine, to the fans and the players in this community to have it in their backyard for the first time ever.
I mean, I would say it's pretty well deserved. They're definitely like one of the big reasons why Dota 2 is still like, you know, growing and popular.
I mean, the Chinese are huge Dota fans, and we're kind of like jumped on the Chinese boat, so we're gonna ride off maybe some of the fans' hype.
Yeah, I'm curious if you think that everybody who is filling the stadium is going to cheer for NEWBEE, given that it's a different squad.
I hope they do.
I mean, I hope they do. Probably a lot will depend on the results, and if we do well at this stage, I'm sure the fans will cheer for us.
Last year at TI8, VGJ Storm, so you played there together. Snaking, you were with Team Dignitas at TI3, MSS with Mouse Sports at TI4. So what has changed the most for you, and how have you changed as a player?
It's hard to say. I think I just got better.
You would hope so.
Yeah, I hope so. No, like my first TI, like there was like a lot of nervousness and like pressure, I would guess. But once you start playing at TI, you kind of get used to it. And if you can keep calm when you're playing at TI, like you perform way better. So as long as your team has a good mood, it raises the performance a lot.
He's smiling just listening to you.
Yeah. I mean, it's just in TI3 when I played for Dignitas, that team was probably the most toxic team I've ever played on. So it kind of built off of Mojo. Like over the years, I kind of learned how to be able to talk with your teammates in a better tone, and all these things that are not skills you learn inside the game really per se, but they're really helpful. And
now here we are at TI9, and as you said, you hope you're better than you were. But is there anything, let's just even talk about TI8. Anything stand out when you think back to that you think, okay, yeah, I'm not doing that again, or no, that definitely worked?
Come on, OG series?
No,
there were so many mistakes.
No, there was a lot of mistakes.
Yeah,
I actually don't know how we got top 8. I actually don't know how we got top 8.
Oh man.
Like there's so many mistakes. It's not even just us. It was like everybody at TI. There's so many mistakes that happen. So like as long as you're the team that's making the fewer mistakes,
right,
you're golden.
Well, it also sounds like if you have the ability as a team to regroup after those mistakes, what has worked for you?
You have to be able to learn how to move past your mistakes during the game, because if you dwell on these mistakes your teammates or yourself made during the game, it's not going to help you in the present and in the near future. And you just got to be able to reflect upon it afterwards.
What are you most looking forward to? What part of TI9?
I mean, hopefully we play in the grand finals. That would be pretty
good. Might be hoisting this little... Well, it's not little. It's very heavy. I tried picking it up.
Is it actually heavy?
I guess we'll find out. Of course.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you both the best of luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, always fascinating to hear players with so much experience coming to TI and kind of, talking about how they cope with the pressure and everything else. These guys are old hat. They're fine with it, Cap.
I love the fact that Snake King just immediately tackled his whole toxic past that he's had as BSJ. I mean, you would know a lot about toxicity in teams and such, right?
Yeah, I'd say that's probably the main problem with NA. I couldn't tell if that was a jab at me specifically.
How about your time at Team Runes?
Yeah, I'm already trying to forget that. I think the major thing that he talked about is how much you learn playing on teams. It's not the experience of competitive Dota, but the atmosphere and moving past the tough parts like we saw with OG last year.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thanks very much, gents. It's time for us to get back into game number 2. Get ready for our draft panel.
OG versus NEWBEE. Game 2. The TI8 champions trying to recapture their magic on the main stage this year, and they've just taken that first step to repeating history, guys. They began their TI last year with a 2-0 upper bracket win over then VGJ Storm, became Forward Gaming, and they're halfway that same kind of result today. Very convincing game one. I want to talk to you guys specifically about that duo that we saw on the couch there with Casey. MSS and Snaking held to only 3 assists apiece in that first game. Not the kind of activity around the map that we've seen from them so far in this tournament. What can NEWBEE do to change their fortunes in game 2?
I think the biggest one is the Wisp ban, which we've seen already.
There you go.
So they banned the Wisp, they still banned the Chen, and then the Invoker ban is a little surprising to me already. I thought they would try to save it for MSS here, because that was one of his best heroes, I think, in the group stage.
Yeah, especially with the first overall selection. And now, by the way, Enchantress on the board. OG has picked that hero first overall every time they've had the opportunity. So NEWBEE need to think here, do they want to give that away?
I think it's between Magnus and Enchantress right now. Most of the teams that play against OG, they're either banning it, or if they're first pick, they're snatching it. I mean, I would expect OG to respond with their mag. I would be surprised if they didn't.
We talked about Seb's mag, of course, last year at TI. He is on a 22-3 run in professional games on that hero. It's been statistically his most successful hero over the past season.
My lord.
It fits well.
What are you going to do, right?
It fits well with the way they want to play, I think. It lets Anna play this really hard carry. Even if its lane's a little hard, he can always just jungle. He doesn't really need the items. He gets like, 2 Wraith Bands or whatever. He gets some power. Jungle's dead.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we've seen a lot of this year at TI is the carry pool has shrunk a lot. There's so much, it feels like, economic pressure on these big farming cores. And Magnus, of course, one of the big mechanics and in power that sort of relieves that in the laning phase especially.
It's also why heroes like Alchemist are really strong. You can jungle at level 3, level 4. The offlane picks this like dual lane that's supposed to crush you in the lane and your game's supposed to be unplayable. You get level 3 because of pulls. You hit up the jungle, you still have 800 GPM. So
absolutely.
That's why that hero is really scary for most teams, and they usually ban it, but I believe it's not banned this game yet.
That's some OG. Often when they do pick the mag, they will actually pick the mag combo in the first phase. They had a mag jug open earlier in this tournament. Are we expecting something like that here, or do you want to keep our draft a little more flexible?
I just think it depends on kind of how they feel. I think mag jug is probably the best mag combo that there is out there. He lanes well against most heroes. He also gives you like tower pressure. Yeah. So it means like you don't just have to AFK farm when you have this Magnus now. If this jug has a good game, he can run at towers and pressure them.
Also is good against Enchantress. You don't need to hit her in the early game to deal damage. You can just spin on her. Even your Omni Slash isn't affected by the passive. So you have kind of multiple ways to deal with her. That
was going to be my concern that I was going to bring up next, because Enchantress, as we've seen in this tournament, has just looked crazy in the laning phase, like so few answers to her. But is Jug one of those few carries that can sustain the offlane pressure? Jug's laning phase, at least recently to me, has looked a little bit weaker than it has been in the past.
I think it kind of depends what he lanes against. Against most heroes, he's okay. I think against Ench, it can be okay, but it also depends on what the Ench is paired up with. I think good picks for NEWBEE here would be, they often like Ogre with Ench, I believe. So that would be okay.
Oh, this is a hero, again, tied with Elder Titan for the most picked in this tournament, and I was shocked that it went all the way through the last phase, especially because it can be a flex pick for OG. This hero, like Soul Catcher in some of these games, especially against heroes like Alk, has looked flat out broken to me.
Yeah, it's I guess that means it's they can forward or 5 on NEWBEE. I don't think their mid plays it like Thompson would.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
But for the Jug, they have nerfed him the past couple of patches. He lost some movement speed, he lost some agility and strength, he lost some Blade Fury damage. So that lane is a little rough for him in the early game if he doesn't have a good kill for the Enchantress. The Enchantress, I think, has like a 35 or 40 movement speed advantage on him. So even with the boots on Jug, he can't really catch up to the Enchantress.
And when you talk about scaling, of course, into the late game, Shadow Demon, I think, is low-key, like, you get that Ags going late. And even the 5-position Shadow Demon with some of the support gold mechanics is eventually going to get the Ags. That hero terrifies me in the late game.
This Shadow Demon hero is super strong right now. Both like every single spell. He has Wave Clear, you can burst people with Soul Catcher. His ulti makes a lot of hard carries like unplayable. And then obviously he has a save as well. Like the hero just feels very strong right now.
I think one of the coolest things with this pick in this draft is that it's going to purge the Empower from the Jug in the team fight permanently. So it's like if he runs it with Empower, he's going to get purged, and for the next 8 seconds, he's going to lose 50% of his damage.
And it is, just to mention for some of our newer viewers, that's kind of a unique mechanic. It is a continuously applied purge. So not only do you get rid of the Empower, but that Empower cannot then be recast on that Juggernaut throughout the duration of the SD ulti.
I think he also can't get phase boots, and then he can't get the drums if it's early game. So a lot of the jugs things this game are already going to be a little bad against the Shadow Demon.
Absolutely. And you guys mentioned Wave Clear, by the way. We talked about in our panel the Bristleback having so much free space in the last game to farm the jungle. That is predicated. A lot of the teams in this tournament, you have to have Wave Clear from your supports or your 3 position to be able to support those cores going and farming neutrals. This is one of the big unique picks from OG. They have run this tree at the offlane position. They've run this in the hands of Seb.
I know that they like Treant against Enchantress specifically. I know that, Ench has problems taking towers for the most part. She kind of needs another hero to help with it. And Enchantress, she kind of needs to take this enemy safe lane tower kind of early on. And then her best rotation is to defend your own safe lane tower. But if you have this Treant, you have a very high chance of just delaying these tower pushes, and then suddenly this Enchantress kind of just gets locked in one place. She keeps trying to push this tower.
I think it also opens their draft. If they want to put the tree in the offlane, if it's a good offlane, he can maybe sustain the lane there, and then this Magnus can go tri-lane bot with the Jug. If they get another stun, maybe we've seen, I think, Witch Doctors with Jug, Rubik, stuff like that. Some 5, maybe even an Ogre here. A stun into skewer into spin is a kill on a hero usually.
I think that's a really good point. When you talk about playing against heroes like Enchantress, you have to have some flexibility to dodge those lane combinations. Speaking of flex picks, this Earthshaker, not completely out of the question, could be core. Probably in the hands of MSS, given that it's NEWBEE with the Enchantress pumped up to the 3 position.
I believe it's been played in all 4 different roles this tournament.
Yes, you are correct,
It's been played mostly as a 4. Yep. I know Mid One played it mid, Secret Series, and then Miracle played it carry.
And it's been an offlaner as well. Yeah. So yeah, this hero is, again, the burst damage potential, the control, long range initiation. It's been true for so many TIs now. This is a hero that seems to always come back at this point in the season.
Yeah, it gives you team fight, it gives you stuns. These kind of things are really good when there's high pressure. When there's a lot of pressure in your team to kind of make a move, if you're worried about like late game or team fights, you might walk up a high ground you won't. Or you might try to push a tower you don't need to. Or you might try to end the game you don't need to. And this big like team fight ultimates, these big stunners, when you catch a hero out, it kind of slows the game down, shuts the game down, and then you can kind of turn the game.
And the Chinese crowd, of course, getting in on one of our favorite pastimes from last year is Earthshaker banging the drum on the main stage. Yeah, I think that was one of my favorite moments in Vancouver, as well as Ogre, of course.
Ogre claps, yeah.
Yeah. Easy clap.
We haven't seen much Ogre, I believe, in the main stage, have we?
Not compared to group stages, which is really odd. Again, a hero that it's been played mostly as core in this tournament, a hero that relieves that economic pressure with the multicast Midas.
So one of the interesting things I think is that in the group stage at the start, a lot of people were going a lot of armor items.
Right.
And now people are going more towards magical and these team fight spells a little more than in the group stage. So there's more like Earthshakers and like this Ogre hero. He was really good against his physical damage. If you were going Solar Crest, Basilius, Phase Boots, all these kind of things on his like heroes. And now that a lot more heroes are magic based, Ogre's kind of fallen out. This like 8 armor, 700 HP level 1 hero isn't really great anymore.
Wow, so the Grimstroke pick here is interesting because there are not that many single target spells on the side of OG. There's not necessarily that classic combo. We also didn't talk a little bit about, between this tree and the Magnus, Seb can't play both. So what do you think we're going to do with these 2 heroes in terms of personnel?
I'm guessing that Seb is going to play the Mag, and I think Jarex is going to play this tree. And I was kind of wondering what hero they were going for No-Tail here. But I think they were kind of just looking for a hero that deals magic damage, because I think they're very low on that right now. They have Jug, Mag, Treant. They're kind of just a lot of lockdown and physical damage. So I guess that was kind of their most comfortable pick.
Well, and initiation range. We talk about the initiation range potential of the Earthshaker. Grimstroke's another hero that gives you magic damage from way back in the back lines.
It's also a really scary tri-lane if they want to do it with a Grimstroke. If he puts Inkswell on either the Jug or Tree or Mag, there's these 3 melee heroes already for him. Any of them is going to get, like, you either punch from the tree line of a tree, you just spin on them with a Jug, you wrap around, skewer them back into you with the Mag. So I think either of those heroes can be their force.
And what do you want against a hero, a support in the back line that's a little bit squishy? You want reach, and that's this Ember Spirit pick right here. He does have to worry a little bit about the silence coming out from the Grimstroke, but again, you can slide a fist to deal with that.
So this pick, I think, is a little scary this game because of the recent changes. Tree gives you a lot of roots, and the Grimble gives you a lot of root.
Yeah, that's true.
And now you can't Slight out of roots anymore, and you cannot Fire Remnant out of roots anymore. So there's a lot more of these mechanics that you can kind of get caught by. So I think it's still a good pick. It does well against Tree Armor. It does well against a Grim if you can ever jump in the back line. Even Jug, it's hard for him to Omni. You can either disjoin it with your Sleight of Fist, or you can join it by jumping away. Even the Mag, you can kind of annoy, chain him in the back lane. You can't get blinks. So I like the overall pick, but I'd be scared if he gets caught out by these roots in the mid game.
Do you worry a little bit? Like, we started out talking about the Enchantress, about this is a hero that forms a foundation of a very solid laning phase. Do you worry a little bit about OG punishing the Ember in lane with their last pick in the hands of Thompson? Something like a Monkey King can just ruin Ember's life.
I mean, I think it's very likely, especially if NEWBEE now pick a hero that is kind of locked into the safe lane. I think something that would be good for them is if they have an open pick that can perhaps interchange with the Ember, of them both going into mid lane.
Maybe like a Gyro?
Something like that, because I think OG will for sure punish this Ember. If they know he's gonna be middle, they will counter pick him hard.
I think CCNC's gotten really good at the laning with Ember. A lot of players have practiced Ember versus Monkey matchups, and they kind of know the timings now. Like before level 3, the Jingu is actually really weak, so you can actually out-trade him with your Flame Guard. But once you hit level 3, level 4, you have to pull the wave into you. So I think they're going to be comfortable putting this Ember mid and knowing that CCNC is going to have a game.
All right, as we see the final pick coming out from NEWBEE, this is more than likely going to be a safe lane Sven in the hands of UR. Gunnar correctly calling that NEWBEE are comfortable with the CCNC Ember mid. Now is OG going to go for that counter pick in the hands of Tops? And really not many other teams have touched Monkey King in this tournament. Other picks that we're thinking about here?
Kind of looking right now. I'm not sure. I don't like Monkey that much here on this spot.
Okay. All right, there is the Monkey. Again, it's about the player. All right. So, guys, really quickly, final thoughts on this draft here. Can NEWBEE even this series up?
I think they have the tools to do it, more so than the first game. I think CCNC is he's still on a playmaking hero. He was a Tiny last game, but I think this is a playmaking hero that scales. Tiny, he scales, but you need 10,000 gold to scale. You need Ags and a Daedalus to kind of go into the mid-game physical damage, late game. But Ember, you need, drums, Maelstrom, BKB.
All right. We've got game 2 just about to get underway, but first we got a special treat for you. Here is Casey, together with the guy that keyed OG's run at Epicenter, OG Coach Sakshka.
That's right. All right, so we always get the casters' opinions on the draft, but I want to hear from you yourself, how you feel about this compared to the draft in the first game.
I feel really good. We have our classic Mag draft, so yeah, 2-0.
Were you able to listen to how the guys were talking to each other in game for the game 1?
Yes, I was. It was really good. The communication was super hype, and it was a really cool game, so yeah.
What were your biggest takeaways from the first game?
An IO?
IO's always good with you guys.
Yeah, it is definitely.
Well, best of luck. Thanks for chatting with us. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys.
All right, back to you guys.
I'm shocked. I'm baffled. Anna Io, the takeaway from game number 1. I think a large amount of confidence also. But game 2, no Anna Io. We're going to change it up, but we're coming back to another one of the staples you're talking about from OG. It's the Seb Magnus. It's the buff up on the Juggernaut. It's Tops and Monkey King.
And it's good to hear from the coach that they like winning. That is always something you're not really sure about, and that you trust in your own best strategies and feel good when you get them. Awesome.
So we feel
Sakshka was he was
good,
glowing.
right?
He was glowing. He looked like he was having a great time. So if that's a reflection of what the team atmosphere is like, then OG are in a great spot right now. They just seem super happy, all of them.
Yep.
So all right, let's get into the game. As Sakshka pointed out, they do have their Magnus strat, and they did play the IO last game, so 2 of OG's absolute staples they have been given in this series. I still feel like this game will probably be closer than the previous one, because this should be something NEWBEE are more accustomed to playing against. Yeah, that's a bit more standard, if you will. And speaking of combo pick, they've got plenty of them themselves. They've got Snaking on his Enchantress, they've got the MSS Shaker, Ember Spirit for CCNC, Yawar Sven, and Pilot Eye Sharium. There's actually, like, for these players, all of the heroes that they're playing are probably one of their 3 best that they have, so they're definitely comfortable too.
I'm also liking just seeing CCNC on an Ember Spirit, like getting him into that. playmaker role. There's not a huge amount of control against him, and you'll know CCNC will play it still defensively against OG, but it's that ability just to sync with the rest of his team, create that space, and if things go wrong, they can always back each other up. You've got multiple saves, be it through the SD, be it through, obviously, like Sven, he's got a lot of AoE control as well as having the war cry, but the bigger thing is MSS. Land a big Echo Slam and you actually have something to counter that initial fight that OG's looking for. And even if they don't have the perfect synergy with the Grimstroke, as a part like for the Soulbind, you still have that Inkswell. Fantastic with the Jug early on, but it works beautifully if Mag's able to get a big combination too.
And there's one thing, I don't know if they talked about this on the panel, but there's one thing about Shadow Demon against Magnus that's really interesting. If you Demonic Purge the Jugger, he can't get empowered for the whole duration. And that means if you enter a team fight and you manage to Demonic Purge the Jugger before he gets his ulti off, you have this 8-second span. Is it 8 or 7? 7? Yeah, 7. You have the 7-second span where Jugger's damage is way less significant. If you can get off to a good start that way in a fight, that could pay off big time.
And Thompson's right in the face of CCNC. He's trying to get as many of the stacks up as possible. And this is where I almost want to keep my eyes on, just watching how CCNC is able to handle this lane and handle Thompson. While Yoa's just burning bolt after bolt on bottom lane. This lane's a little bit harder to run. Jirax and Seb together, they're very tanky, they hit very hard. But Paladai plays from range. As long as Yoa's got mana, he can always have the stun available too. And then the safe lane, Ana and Notal together, once again, this dual lane sync that OG gets so well in all their lanes.
The reason, by the way, that this Shaker Enchantress works so well together is that Enchantress is an extremely independent hero. Just give her a little bit of help and she can solo pretty much any dual lane in the game.
So
MSS gets freedom to move and doesn't have to steal too much experience from the offlaner.
He can't really help kill the mid lane though. Like, this isn't like you're running like a burst style hero with chain stuns. Like CCNC goes second point up in Flame Guard now. MSS gonna send in the illusions. He actually potentially could have body blocked up the courier. And now with a fissure stun, CCNC, they're bringing him low. Thompson gets a life steal up again, but they're just trying to burn him out. The fissure wall is gonna break in just a couple of seconds. Thompson, he's gonna live through this. No way, they can't let this happen. Side fist up cooldown right now. CCNC, he claims the first blood against OG. And NEWBEE, they needed a win like this. They needed something to go their way. One game down, and that's a good start, but it's just the start.
And that was a super close call too. They almost couldn't kill him even with a full duration Flame Guard being on top.
Wow, that's a lot of damage from Yoa into Jirax. Pylite dies, already got the poison stacks up. Jirax will go invis quickly. That's just Stormhammer. MSS is arriving. Jirax is fine inside the tree lines. He has stick charges available as well as well, he's being a cannibal right now, eating tangos. They really want to have a crack at bottom. If MSS... Actually, can they? There's no mana on Sven. He doesn't have a stun available. And CCNC, for all that great work he does, he's still playing against Thompson. He gets his own back.
That's really bad news because as the panel talked about earlier, when it comes to comeback kills, if you're behind in this mid lane and you get a return kill, you're leading. And at this point, Monkey King is now far ahead in the lane. He's going to hit level 5 before the Ember Spirit of CCNC, and he's probably going to be relegated to the jungle relatively early. Thompson's going in. They will get Fisher. Are they just going to be trading kills, these guys?
Yeah, they're going to give it a jump. And my God, MSS.
He got him on the wrong side.
Yeah, that's a melee hero, guys. Thompson, he's asking to hold hands with CCNC while up on the top. Snaking's in trouble. Has to trigger off Nature's attendance as Ana and Notal did their combination. Bottom lane, the root's out. Yoa trying to move back. Pylai die. He hasn't have a save. He's already used the disruption. And they're almost out of consumables. MSS will arrive in the lane. They're pinging out Jirax, but I don't think they can really do anything there. There's one Stormbolt available for Sven.
And MSS, he had the right idea in mid. Both times he's ganked, he's tried to fake out the fissure so that it doesn't get dodged, as Snaking should be okay here.
Yeah, couldn't get the body block absolutely perfect. There's that fight on bottom. So they waited a long time for it. They committed those abilities we were looking for.
Oh, CCNC again.
Going again. Yeah. He won't even die to the tower. He switches the aggro at the very last moment. So only got to hit once by the tower.
And you see, he's making use of the Mischief. That's what MSS did well when he ganked mid, is that he fakes out the Mischief on the fissure so that it doesn't dodge the damage. But the last fissure was on the wrong side. Thompson gets another kill, and now
He's a beast.
What do you do in mid? This is a big problem. This is a Monkey King that won its lane, has top CS in the game, and has Empower. Thompson is already 1,000 gold ahead in the mid lane.
2.8k net worth compared to the 1.8k of Sven. That's the difference between the number ones of OG and NEWBEE. And now you look for the bounty runes. There will be a 2-2 trade-off. Thompson gets 4 stacks, CCNC has to back off. MSS will drop down the Observe Ward, and they may will try and work here with Pylai Die. If Thompson gets a little aggressive, which, hey, it's Thompson. MSS is the Fidget, but Thompson hits the first attack. He's going to wait to Fissure out. No-Tail's also arrived, and Thompson, Mischief once again. MSS, now the Fidget block, holds in No-Tail as well as Thompson. The Poison Sack's good over on Thompson, but they can go for the other kill. No-Tail, a quick sleight of fist from CCNC will claim it, but they don't get the one they're looking for. They don't get Thompson. He's going to salve up and get ready to go once more.
He's drawing so much attention to himself that Ana just has a completely free game right now on the Juggernaut.
So does Seb.
When Enchantress hits level 6, actually never mind, because No-Tail rotating off of top relieved some pressure from Snaking, and when Snaking gets level 6, this lane is not inhabitable for Juggernaut anymore. Fortunately, he can jungle with Empower, so he's probably going to be connecting with Seb relatively soon when Seb is level 3 Empower. Maybe they will start playing a little bit closer to each other, because this top lane is not fun anymore.
A little bit of wasted time of Thompson hunting inside the jungle. If he caught Yawai, it would have been great. But MSS forever just trying to make life a little bit more difficult for OG. Defensive spirits are up for CCNC. So unless they get perfect control, CCNC should always have a get out of jail free card bottom lane underneath the tier 1 tower. Yawai just TPs away. That leaves Pylai Die. He's looking for some kind of rebuttal onto Seb. Creates a couple of copies of Ana. That's probably the most amount of damage Pylai Die can do here. But into a spin, Ana around the tower. Pylai Die won't be able to survive. While in mid lane, they keep on going. Thompson and No-Tail together. Spirit jump forward from CCNC. Doesn't have to defend anymore. And MSS can't actually cast a Fidget, so Yawai has to come in. Monkey King, the stun control. MSS is trying to be there for it, but Thompson still getting the run into the trees. Cuts his way around. Of course he can. No-Tail with the slow. CCNC, he's not done yet. He still wants more. TP back bottle up, but Thompson's too fast. He's going to walk back to the tier 1 tower.
And that is space with capital S created in mid by No-Tail as well as Thompson. They're forcing so many defensive rotations out of NEWBEE, and that's going to cost them their bottom tower. They rotated Ana down here and gave him Empower so that he took that, and he's going to keep his farming going.
Snake
the
really
uninhabitable lane, yeah, they'll plant a tree end up here.
He actually got so much damage from snaking.
He's fine.
Yeah, he is for the moment. Jirax's going to look for the denial on the tower, and Radiant, no, it's going to be the catapult that gets the last hit, while MSS catches out No-Tail walking up. Understanding that that first little bit of damage from the Enchantress had No-Tail solo.
It's a good grab from NEWBEE. They need to get something going their way. The only lane that has truly gone well this game is Snaking's, so playing around him, getting his tower is very useful. And if you imagine, I don't think this is the kind of game where you just want your Enchantress to sit in the off lane and just stay up here for like 10 minutes, just pressuring the top tower. I think he needs to get involved for his team's sake to get the mid tower and put some pressure on the Monkey King. CCNC diving pretty far here with Flame Guard, but just cleaning up the wave and he'll be jumping out in no time.
It's like he's now trying to bring the attention, get it off the side lanes, get it away from the recovering Sven, away from, well, I suppose the Enchantress who's still just adding the pressure up on top lane. Feels like I'm watching Ice Ice play. It's like, yeah, so I took the tier 1 tower, I'm still not going to leave.
He'll stay here a little bit, but then I still think the mid rotation is the play to make. They're going to go for him instead.
Yeah, Thompson's moving in. The Observe Ward was planted, but won't matter. Snaking triggers off the attendants. Difficult for Thompson to build up these stacks, however, but No-Tail will slow him down. They'll get the stuns out as the Inkswell will connect, but Enchantress is still healing through everything. Double braces, and Thompson at least Mischief dodge one of the imps, but in mid lane, CCNC jumping in, has no searing chain, so he can't hold Seb there. Needed MSS's stun to connect, but it won't happen.
He's putting some really good aggressive pressure though, forcing rotation from OG and getting some tower damage in soon for hopefully for him. But yep, guess what? We didn't talk about this, but Jirax can heal towers this game. So if you want to grab towers, you need a successful teamfight move that overwhelms the opponent. This chip damage is not mattering too much.
This is a nice observer and sentry up on top. If Jirax runs to the northern trees, he'll be fine. If he runs to the southern trees, won't be as great. MSS gonna have to Fidget block him up, then Snaking is able to claim this quite simply. And CCNC is just going for supports as well. No-Tail into the tier 2. Again, no Searing Chains, however. He's got the Sleight of Fist, but needs to burn NoTel down a little bit more before that'll be successful. And very deep, but it won't matter. So you'll always know there's an escape way for CCNC.
Bounty runs, 2 for 2 it looks like. CCNC trying to get the bottom run. Lots of pings coming out from NoTel, but his team is too late. They're not in position.
It's a nice one for CCNC, a double damage rune. And he's still going to do the TP back to base.
Got himself some nice gold here from the couple of kills. He had a very, very hard start, and he is still behind the Monkey King. But this could have snowballed out of control if they didn't make the correct adjustments. And at least now it looks like CCNC will be having a game.
Absolutely perfect.
And Seb's the man who has to hold the tower, faking the RP out. There's no way he's going to trigger that until Thompson comes in range. Now he might do it. CCNC, the RP will go down. Flame Guard's protecting him nicely. Have they got the stun control? CCNC does go down. The vision from MSS comes a second too late. And Seb perched up, just skewers himself back to the safety of the tier 1 tower. Seb, you know he's smiling himself at the booth right there. I faked you once and you thought I was going to fake you a second time. Definitely not what happened.
If he had a mid lane ward, he wouldn't have died, because then he knows the Monkey King is connecting. OG were banking on the fact that Thompson was not visible running down the lane, and that was indeed the case. There was no vision for NEWBEE in that instance, and they didn't have any defensive supports there, and none of the two were there. Monkey King
comes out, Snaking, got to get the hell out of there. Man, that looks beautiful. Thompson. Now Snaking's actually with the attendants, thinking about fighting inside the command. With a TP support arriving, no Wukong, no RP available. They still don't push the tier 1 tower because they haven't pushed it. The living armor still kicking in. And what does OG do? They smoke up, they're moving south. Seb and NoTel gonna try and combo up here with NoTel, with Ana.
The NoTel combo.
Yeah. It's just Meepo in real life.
I'm ready for it. Yeah. I mean, Ana's been...
That's,
Omni-slash?
That's a lot of damage, and dead under the tier 1 tower. Level 1 Omni, but totally isolated Sven.
That should not be happening. That's a huge kill too. Furthering the space between these two carries. Ana got 400 gold for that kill, and Sven obviously on the sidelines for 30 seconds, not farming a single bit of gold, as Ana's clearing out an ancient stack, so he's overtaking the Sven now by 1,500.
And it's just all the economy going the way of OG. Experience is cracking 3 grand. What do you really get in return? Jerax can just keep hiding inside the trees. Unless someone's bringing in dust. It looks like MSS will be the man to do that. But he's right underneath the Dire Observer Ward. So Jerax sees it all.
He's level 4 living armor. Level 8 on the Treant. There's been so much space created for multiple heroes really in OG's lineup. It's not just the Jugger that's enjoying some freedom. The Treant getting freed up and getting all this farm to working toward a Meteor Hammer. Getting the 4 levels in armor to protect towers.
Really, Seb? Drops the Legion loser. Baits out once again. Fakes the RP. And CCNC just looking for some early harassment, but he's realizing that tower, all the hard work he did before, it's all gone to waste.
And that's the logic of playing this Treant and Magnus together, right? There's multiple synergies. One is Mag wants to play slow, so he needs his map protected while you're farming up. You have the Treant protectors to keep the towers alive. And the other thing is, well, you've got the living armor and a power for your carry, so you make your carry really strong. Jerax is in trouble top, but it's going to overgrowth, run away. Once again, just making space for OG to hit that timing later.
Amber scouts out NoTel. RP is back off cooldown for Seb. They're really waiting out this mid. Thompson will move over too. Buffed up by the Empower, ready to fight. ES hides in the tree line. Thompson jumps in. Now ES gets the double stun. And space to move back, pick up the regeneration rune. Snaking, however, caught and pushed back to the other side of the fissure. You can't attend that position.
NEWBEE's lineup can't get this tower. It's actually, I just don't think it's possible right now.
Yeah.
The mid tower is going to be exceptionally hard to take. The Sven needs time to farm. The living armor And the just overall defensive team fight from OG is super strong. Like if you go into any dangerous area, you could get overgrowth, you could get RP'd, you could get skewered, and you're even fighting against a Monkey King that could be in the trees. So there's so much. It's almost like playing against techies if heroes are missing. Like you don't know where you're safe at all in this game with both the Treant and Monkey King in this hidden ability, ready to jump you at any point.
And Seb's making it so difficult to battle that bottom rune out. CCNC still able to claim it, walks into Ana, realizing he's so low. There is the Omnislash with the Sleight of Fist. He's burning through it, and Ana, Spirit Jump away. Wastes the ultimate.
I think he had to do to stay alive.
Yep.
He had to threaten CCNC away from him with a really nice slight dodge on the Phantom's Embrace.
Looks like they're going to try and fight.
Yeah. Now there's no Omnislash, and they know there's no RP.
And CCNC wants to get in there. Like, he's got drums up and running. Paradise got purged. They're looking for a target. Topson's probably going to be it. He pounces up into the tree lines. No tell. Well, he'll have to turn into it. Able to get the double stun off. Ember Spirit, Sleight of Fist coming off cooldown right now. No tell can't walk away. He knows it. But now if you're going to commit to this newbie, they have to take the tower.
They can't get this tower.
They can't. TP's already coming in. Doubles in. Ana through the back lines. He doesn't have the Omnislash, but with the control stuns, the save from Pilot Eye is essential. OG, the Rue, Jirax catches out 3. CCNC, there's no way out. He's got no mana. He's totally dry and dead. And OG love it. That's now the 4th death on this mid of NEWBEE. Well, theirs is sitting on 5 kills for 1 death.
And the game, OG will just continue playing at the same pace. Oh, Disruption. Seb still got the rune.
He did.
And now Pilot Eye's dead because he used Disruption.
Yeah. Actually, almost looked like Seb grabbed that while he was inside the Disruption. Ana looking for his own kill. Stun onto the Enchantress. Ana knows he's got the level 4 spin. The damage doesn't care about physically attacking in, while Seb hiding under the Invis rune. He's just out of range of the tower, but if he RPs, he'd instantly kill off CCNC. But he's playing the max range of that tower's detection. And the other pings are coming up towards top lane. Yoa farming up quite heavily, but it's Jirax who's stalking him. The sentry wall be planted. Yoa, he knows he's in trouble. He has to TP instantly, but Topson's already here. Yoa should not be able to escape this. Topson up into the trees. Yoa actually cuts him down quickly, tries to juke. He's going right instead of left, but the stun from Topson checks right. And Yoa into the Wukong. Nope, he's going to Stormhammer it. Cancel that one, but now Seb, man, they just want to burn ultimates. Dropping the RP, bringing down Yoa. And maybe now NEWBEE go for the tier 1 tower. Nope, denied again.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And this is a goofy lineup from OG. They're everywhere.
Yeah, you've got to try as NEWBEE in this situation to set up a team fight with Shaker being successful, but he went for the mana boots, which makes his big Blink Dagger build up a lot slower. And because of that, NEWBEE, their options of setting up those fights in the first place are pretty weak, right? If you can't force the enemy team to defend very easily because you don't have pushing power, they can kind of take it slow, farm camps, play the map, and then, oh, top lane at CCNC.
They're going again, but defensive. Spirit gets him out.
Not sure what Topson was expecting.
It's like a snort. Man, this guy runs away from me.
I'll be signing autographs out front.
Radiant's top tower is under
Maybe later today you will, Topson.
But OG are completely in their element in this game. They have a huge lead. They're playing with Magnus. They're going to go late game. They have 2 melee cores that both use Empower. And one of them is... I feel like Monkey King is really good against Sven, just because it's hard for Sven to navigate the arena. And even if he does and fights into the Monkey King, you have all this armor.
Ice found the target. It's going to be Seb. They're trying to slow him down with the Purge. Snaking will arrive, throwing out the impetus, but man, the mech gives some extra life. Snake is going to work a little harder for this. And then in towards Ana. Keep in mind, he has the Omnislash available. Everyone not totally trapped, but they know they can't kill him because you're just going to the Omnislash. So CCNC feels like he's trying to bait the Omnislash once again. But Ana doesn't care. He's got living armor. He's got 21 charges. He's got Diffusal Blade of his own as well, and he knows exactly where the Spirit is planted down by CCNC. So he goes Diffusal, into Snaking, MSS, gonna walk in, Needs to land in that double stun. Just goes for the Echo Slam straight onto N0tail. They can at least bring down the support while the disruption of Ana. N0tail, he is brought down by the impetus, and then with a huge kill. Being out, he's able to escape. They needed him so bad. They get nothing.
Oh, they get a Grim.
They got something, but it's like getting a board game after playing on Wheel of Fortune. It's not what you're really searching for.
That's a pretty good analogy, actually. What just happened?
Thompson jumps down, around, looking for snaking. Trying to put that Echo Save to work, but Fisher blocks him in, but a 3-man stun into the Wukong and the RP! Everything together! Layer it like a cake! OG, they would love to get CC&C too, but he will spirit away. God, it's just too easy. Are they even trying?
Yeah, they set them up for that one, to be honest. I don't think that play had any chance of being successful out of NEWBEE. But it's so easy for us to say, right? Because they're probably feeling a bit desperate too. They're like, if we don't make any plays, we lose, and if we make plays, we lose. So
it's like we need to try something.
Something has to happen, but I just don't think it's possible without the Sven. You probably have to wait for this guy's timing to get something done.
RP and Wukong's down. MSS is coming over. CC&C's going to have a look in the pit. They see the status of Roshan. A quick silence out. The Phantom's embrace from N0tail. Something the back line. Highlight Eye. Actually, just Magnus really caught out. Skewers back over. Joins the rest of his team. Gets a 5-man mech, and MSS is trapped. He can't do much more. Now the Omni Slash up the hill. Well, it's all going to go into Yawar. He can tank through that. Ana, of course, he's got more survivability. Into the spin. NEWBEE still on the retreat back out. Snaking trying to do some level of damage, making Ana a lot lower. Snaking needs to keep the distance up. Thompson in the meantime killing a VS in the back lines, but now they go for more. Hold them together. It's all the embrace of death that NEWBEE just have to accept underneath their own expired shrine. They go down, and Thompson's not done yet. He wants more. But hey, go back for Roshan. Objective-based gaming.
OG are making it look easy. It's not as easy as it looks, but strategically I feel like they've really got control of the game, and there's so much in this game that depends on tempo. That's how every Magnus game is. It's can you get those 2 towers so that the enemy can't farm their jungle safely with Empower? Can you counter the core that is getting the Empower in the first place? And NEWBEE's tempo, when you look at their lineup, it comes from mid. CC&C needs to have a good game for things to happen here, and he didn't. So now they have to wait for Sven to have a good game, which he also isn't having. So it's a lot of waiting. It's a lot of hard fights to take.
They have to get the farm into MSS. 100 gold for the Blink Dagger.
Yep.
Then maybe they stand a chance. BKB set for Yawar. Like, if these things are up, then there's a possibility. But there's also a possibility Thompson can just initiate in on whoever the hell he wants to as well. Takes the tier 2 tower.
He has the Aghanim's Echo Saber build. Putting it to use here.
Yeah, straight to the Wukong's. SD's coming over. Needs to get the defensive disruption over on Snaking. Purchase Thompson instead. CC&C thinks about having a play. Thompson's on the edge of the tree and leaps away to safety.
Forces rotation again.
Yep. CC&C just bouncing around the lanes.
OG just have complete map control. Even though NEWBEE have wards out, it feels like they can't use the wards to get a fight going their way. And OG, okay.
Yep.
They're just gonna go high ground. They don't have Aegis.
You got Thompson with an Aegis Immortal, so hey, just go
what
for
am I
it.
talking about? They have an Aegis.
Fisher catching out on 3. MSS still waiting for the perfect blink. Echo! There he goes! Only breaks the Aegis Immortal, but hey, there's something. You'll take it! But Jirax, he's into the back lines. They see him now over in the trees. He sees so much too. Snaking, still trying to be that front liner for the team. Watch those buybacks if it's going to be possible. The stun on Magnus, actually cancelling off the RP, so he can't get it off, but there's no buybacks available for the 2 NEWBEE deaths. And they need Snaking to have that bigger damage, so then Yawar and CC&C. Time to step up, but the BKB is sworn off, and it goes back to the fight with the defusal. They're purging on Thompson. Maybe with the damage from CC&C, they can actually get a little bit more out of this. Sleight of fist. Finally, Thompson's streak will be ended. Jirax is low as well. CC&C, we get back-to-back kills. Ana, steering chained up. Paradise, what else have you got? Another slide. It's getting rid of the creep wave. At least they're keeping their racks alive here, NEWBEE. But they won't get much more. A great sleight of fist dodge, just dodging the ink swell of Ana. The tier 3 tower is still taken. OG, it wasn't the perfect fight from them. You got a side of fist searing. Oh, and the trees. Not quite right, but...
For a second there, I thought Ana was maybe going to stop his TP and try to turn that. CCNC was super low on mana, but...
You wouldn't put it past him.
They got out there. No, I wouldn't have been too surprised, but yeah. NEWBEE, they do defend. That was honestly a really good hold by countering out the Magnus RP, not allowing it to come off this fissure. And, well, not this one, the next one. That's the Aegis. OG are going to reset. And then they decide to go in. And they're going in here without Wukong's command and without the Aegis that they just lost. And they forced an Echo out with that. And this Stormhammer, it's kind of lucky. He's actually skewing into the Stormhammer, so they get the time to react and get the fissure off. And that's the defense.
You see the ability for Yawar to actually stand in the protection of the BKB, but after that it's just so hard. Ana coming up. Well, I think OG have marked this territory. Ana will be fissure blocked in. Thompson, however, he doesn't care. Yawar has to BKB. Such pressure and maneuverability. The draft battle was like, well, you know what? I don't really like the monkey here, but it doesn't matter when Thompson's playing it. You pick it for the player. And my god, as he shined on this hero. He even gave away the death in the mid lane. Then after that, it's like, no, you had something, but now you have nothing.
Oh, the death ended up favoring him because he got a kill right after, right? If the moment he gets the solo kill on CCNC, the lane is a big win for him.
Is that to say, like, intentional feed?
That's not what I'm saying.
Let's not go that far.
That's not what it looked like.
Blink Echo's off cooldown, but it's still only level 1 and...
High's dead, I think.
Yeah, it's a little bit problematic. Crazy disruption over on Jirax. Bitcher tries to create some more space, and maybe they can get this kill into the tree and protect before he can get the overgrowth off. Able to do so Jirax is down. Thompson into the Wukong's command, but very much away from the rest of NEWBEE as they just wait out the Soulbind. Thompson doesn't want to leave just yet. CCNC, who's his target? Ana into the Omniscience, but the Yule Scepter is wasting all of it. The RP will catch out CCNC, but defender disruption. Pilot Eye got it off just in time with the Inkswell, the stun control, maybe with the Stormhammer. Yawar, it's time to go big or go home. He's looking for the cleave damage, but Ana, he closed the distance over on snaking. Yawar, everyone's just delta split. They can't catch him out. He gets rooted to the ground. And the buybacks that came in from NEWBEE, they want to fight around the shrines, but now it's going to be Pilot Die falling. Thompson's gone after MSS for a triple kill from him, and it'll be Ana who'll claim the life in a double kill against Pilot Die. And Seb, he's also looking for his own fight. Everyone's having their own engagements. CCNC trying to bring down Seb. It won't be enough though. The Yule Scepter up. My bad indeed. Skewers to it. Great side of fit. CCNC is actually going to claim that life. But they're hunting. Diffusal Blade. Spirit defensively up and back with the sleight of fist searing chains. He's just trying to play the game until he's got his TP buff cooldown in 5 seconds time. Fortification will stop OG from instantly assaulting the base. And NEWBEE, they're playing scrappy, but they're playing still.
OG's fights are so good. The way they're positioning their heroes, the way they're playing off each other, using cooldowns correctly. Even though the Thompson Wukong command isn't that good there, it creates so much space and so much time for the rest of the team to be set up for success. And they just keep weaving in and out, not stacking on top of each other. Until the Sven Stormhammer in the end, there was like no opportunity really presented for NEWBEE in that fight. And a nice detail from CCNC on the way out there. At least they have that going for them, which is nice, but it's a very minor consolation prize to have your mid-hero survive and get 1 kill there.
This is just one of those games where you've got to kind of remain optimistic for both sides. So let's have a look at this once again. So Pilot Eye, it all starts with him being initiated on, but they catch out Jirax at the beginning. And you feel like maybe you didn't have to expend too much. The Wukongs didn't really catch anybody, and the Soulbind waited out, yet still they have enough to keep the fight going.
The Treant bought back and reconnected with the fight. He has living armor for Thompson, keeping him that extra bit safe. They get the RP, which doesn't give them the kill because of a good defensive disruption, but that defensive disruption puts Pilot Eye in an awful position.
Here we go again. Ana. MSS is wondering if there's extra help. He waited this out as long as possible. Ana can start the spin. The living arm will give some protection. Purge up as quick as they possibly can, but now the spin is going to wear off. CCNC still going to slide a fist and then just spirit away to safety because Thompson, in he comes with a jump down. Pilot Eye is instantly killed off. This is not a game when you want to be a support. With a war cry, they create a little bit of extra space. Snaking looking for his own damage. Is there that blink echo? They're waiting for it out as Ana already back into a spin.
He's so safe with that healing ward. Absolutely no problem. OG lost nothing there. They get the kill on the Shadow Demon. They used no big spells, so all ultis ready. Could try to start protecting Roshan. He can spawn in 20 seconds. Just get control of that area, looks like, but N0tail is drawing right now. So we're going to play up here. Keep pushing in the top lane if possible, perhaps. Maybe they're going to cut waves with Topson.
You got Roshan that could spawn in 10 seconds time, so controlling the northern side.
Yep. Topson's going to cut the wave.
There is no gank that comes the opposite direction, because that really feels like NEWBEE's last hurrah. OG, overconfident, sit inside the pit, you just hit this amazing echo, and actually give space for Yawar to do damage during that control. But he can't be the only one. Yawar doesn't have the damage output required to get through this OG lineup. CCNC, oh, he's actually able to grab one of the 30-minute runes. Make it 2 of them. Hey, you'll take the money. That's enough for his Mjolnir, but he won't have buyback available if he does it.
It kind of feels like one of those games where Ember needs to go physical damage. I don't know if they can kill the Jugger and deal with the massive AoE teamfight of OG if they don't have heavy burst. Maybe the magic burst can be enough. You're obviously making the enemy team giving them a lot more value out of armor if both Sven and Ember are doing physical damage. But you still have the pure damage of Enchantress, and you have the magic damage of Shaker.
And Paladai was really lucky to survive that. Jirax's blink came just a fraction of a second too late. And NEWBEE's doing the best they possibly can. Seb pulls back. Wait, those trees regrew very quickly. He skewered through them and they instantly spawn back up. It's like, well, pop-up book.
Actually, I take it back. I don't think physical damage is a solution either. That's one of Juggernaut's biggest strengths. He has 50 armor. The itemization options for CCNC, there's nothing that feels amazing. There's just, he's gonna get this Mjolnir so he gets more damage. Overall, like more mixed damage. Has maybe we'll get some value out of the static shield. I forgot what it's called. It's not called static shield. Static charge, right? Static charge. I think it's called static charge. But the guy who has to deal damage here and kill this Jugger is actually snaking, I think. That's the biggest damage source they have. But Jugger now with the butterfly is going to have all the evasion. He's going to get maybe an Aegis, unless they give it to Topson's Monkey King again, which I wouldn't put past them. He's way less tanky than the Jugger. He needs it a lot more. And maybe you just give the cheese over to Seb. So far, it's backpack for Ana.
Smoke came very late. You saw Snaking actually turn around after Roshan died. They're 4-man smoking out. They're looking for an opportunity. Jirax, he's hunting CCNC. Topson about to bounce forward. The smoke breaks on the Enchantress, but they have to kill off Jirax so quickly. Yawar, BKB, God's Strength, they're going to be able to do so. So down goes Jirax. No buyback available, but in the backlines, Snaking, the man that has to do the damage, is stuck inside the Wukong's command. With the stun from N0tail, they'll hold him there. Snaking tanks through a lot, but he can't tank through all of it. CCNC, no defensive spirit available. He has the Yule Scepter, silenced up for the moment, needs a little bit more space to work with, and that's why up, down, and around. The stun from N0tail won't be able to reach, but he'll be able to hit. No, he doesn't hit with the Stroke of Fate. Another banishment by Pylai Die. Buyback maybe needed here from Snaking. RP catching out Yawar. He had no BKB, he had no Gold Strength, he had no real presence. They can buy back, but they've lost CCNC. Topson just did it solo underneath the racks, which they're looking to take now. Fortification slows down the push from OG, but it definitely won't stop it. And look, he's even with the double damage rune on the end of Ana. Was thinking about tier 4 towers, but okay, back to reasonable objectives is going to be the mid. Not pulling an RV right now. Take all the objectives, get the megas up and running. Good stun. Seb, just wanted to have a closer inspection of Shadow Demon. Fissure Sun out over on Topson. Now, again, Mischief. Such a problem for Snaking to keep hitting that impetus. Pilot Eye, disruption. Now the impetus can go out towards Ana. He'll jump away, Storm Bolt, Topson, he's in real deep. Remember, Aegis the Immortal, he's happy to tank it through as long as they can get a rebuttal kill. Ana sent up and towards the air. Snaking's getting some time to heal up. He's got 9 1 charges and he needs that time. Does Pilot Eye have another disruption? No, it was 1 second away. He's stuck around. Now all he can do is just disrupt the attacking Ana. Snaking back into his damage, over to Monkey King. They really want Topson dead. He's such a huge chunk of the damage as Ana runs forward, can't get the Inkswell stun out, but he'll have the Omniside.
Oh my god.
Together you are! Together you stand, together you die, and together you GG! NEWBEE are out, OG have knocked them down to the lower bracket in more than dominating fashion. You banned the IO, which dominated in game 1. We just come back to Seb Classic Magnus, Thompson styling, and OG looking in the same type of form. They were there the last TI, and they want to carry their whole way through this upper bracket. No drop downs.
And NEWBEE might be kicking themselves a little bit after the series as far as the first phase strategy went. They gave them the IO in game 1, they got destroyed. In this game, they gave over the Seb Mag. And especially this game is worth talking about from a strategic standpoint in the first phase, because they banned, what was it? And they banned the IO, the Chen, and then they had +1 ban. And that could have been the Mag, and they could have still first picked the Ench. But they chose to ban the support Invoker. Yeah. I don't know if they have played against this from OG and feel like it's a really big threat, but OG have a lot of really good strategies. You got to choose which one you give away. This time they give away the Mag, and OG made it look... I said this game would be more comfortable for NEWBEE than the first one. It was still really hard, but yeah.
Yeah, man, OG made this look so easy. I wonder how long it will be until they're tested. What team can do it? Maybe it's one of the next 2 that'll be playing here on the main stage.